Are we live? Are we live? We might be live. We might be live. Are we live? I always love this little delay. It's always a good time. Sorry about the hair. Hey Jay, what's up with that shirt? It's a Christmas shirt. You know, sometimes you just feel like throwing on a Christmas shirt. Good evening. Welcome to 5 Day with Jay. I'm your host, J.R. Murdock. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to talk about 5 things tonight. I'm going to try and make 5 a day with Jay about 5 different things. Going to try, don't know if it'll work, but we're going to give it a shot. That's the whole goal here. Experimenting, changing, learning. This is episode 160. I never thought I'd get here, but hey, here we are. I know there's been a lot of breaks, a lot of interims that have happened, a lot of little side roads and side trails, and I've been consistent with the blogging, but not so consistent with the videos. We're going to try and get consistent with the videos again. My apologies for talking really fast. That's what happens when I don't know what I'm going to talk about. First thing I want to talk about, free ebooks. Last week we did a giveaway with the Supernatural Learning Series. We gave away a good quantity of books. I was very happy and very excited with how things went. We even sold a few books. That's always an awesome thing. One of the things I did is I went and I looked back at one of my biggest giveaways where I gave away nearly 700 ebooks in a month. I sold 3 copies of another ebook and 1 print book that entire month. That's one of the things that kind of made this so challenging for me is everyone's like, oh, you got to give away books. You got to give away books. That's the only way you're ever going to make money is to give away books. Give. That's how you're going to build your audience. I tried that. I've given away literally thousands of ebooks. And I see almost no bump in sales. I've actually sold better without doing giveaways than when I do the giveaways, which is understandable, which is fine. As I mentioned, the week before I did a sale on Paradise Palms. The week before that, I did a giveaway with Golden West. This week, I'm doing another giveaway with Estelle and Billy Barbarian. Go down to the link, jrmurdock.com, JRMURDOCK. Very easy to get to, very easy to find me, ofgnomesandDwarves.com. Go find Estelle, go find Billy Barbarian, hit the link, boom, free books. The reason I'm doing this final push and this final giveaway is for anybody who might be waiting to read one of these books in Kindle Unlimited. They're not going to be in there. After September 28th, they're out of Kindle Unlimited. They will be back in my control, and they're going to be up on every other server, on every other platform. They're going to be up on Barnes & Noble. They're going to be up on Kobo. They're going to be on iBooks. I'm going to go draft to digital. I'm going wide with every book except the V&A Universe books. And I've already talked about this before. We're not going to talk about it again. Focus, Jay. Focus. That's what I'm working on here. At any rate, 2 more books are free this week. Those are the last 2. This is the last giveaway we're going to be doing for a while. I will be doing another giveaway when V&A Shipping 3 launches. And when that one launches, we'll do a giveaway on the first V&A Shipping book, reduce all the other books to 99 cents, and away we go. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe something will magically happen this time. I don't know. We'll find out. At any rate, pup date. Puppy update, pup date. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh, I'm so clever. I'm sure no one's ever done that before. Gracie is learning. She can now come in through the doggy door on her own. She's still a little apprehensive about going out the doggy door on her own. Progress, she's learning. We're teaching her how to come when we call her, to sit, and then she gets her food. That's how she's getting her breakfast and her dinner now. So that way she knows Gracie come, Gracie sit, Gracie stay, Gracie eat. That way we talked, the missus got a hold of a local doggy daycare around here, and the gentleman there walked us through a series of how to train your puppy, and a lot of it is positive reinforcement with their name. Always positive reinforcement with their name. Never negative reinforcement with their name. So we're working on all positive reinforcement. No yelling her name and then yelling at her because she did something. Always positive reinforcement. If she does something wrong, you scold her with a command. No, stop, leave it, but never associated with her name. That way her name is always a positive thing. So when you call her by name, she will naturally come. She'll be like, oh, something good. I did something good. I can go over there. And don't punish the dog try and change the behavior. Like they're chewing on something you don't want them to chew on, give them something that it's okay for them to chew on. That way they go, okay, this is good, that I don't chew on. Little things we're learning. So Gracie's doing absolutely wonderful. Tomorrow we finalize the adoption. It was a 2-week fostering. It worked out well. Gracie's going to be a good puppy. She's 5 months old, almost 6 months old. She's still skittish, but hey, she's new to this house. She's still figuring things out. She loves playing with TJ. She loves playing with Maya. Maya terrified her the first time around. I'll share that story another time. But definitely she's doing well. Very happy about that. Let me talk about an awesome person on Facebook. I won't mention the person's name, but you know what? Let's share a story first. I wrote about this in a very long blog post, and this will tie into items 4 and 5. So item 3, we're going to tell a story. When we went to Florida, Iho stayed at the house with Maya and Coda. Only 2 dogs we had at the time. And he would go to work in the morning. Maya, first time he left, decided, hey, this runner upstairs looks really tasty. And hey, look, if I pull this thread on the rug, it keeps on coming. She's a puppy too. She's not even a year old. She's going to destroy things. That's just the nature of dogs when they're at that age. And she is a very go, 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 go type of dog. So yeah, it's frustrating, but it's, what are you going to do? The dog did it. You get over it. The second day, Iho got home from work. She had come upstairs again, realized, oh, hey, this door is closed. She opened up the door to the computer room. On the floor in the computer room, we had just gotten one of those muscle massagers, those boom, 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 boom type of things. She saw that and said, hey, that looks like a lot of fun. It was sitting on top of the case. It should have been in the case. She decided that looked like a good time. I don't know exactly the order of the things that she destroyed, but one day Iho got home and I have a bookshelf downstairs with a lot of books that I've collected over the years, many of them signed, limited edition, irreplaceable type of books. Iho came home one evening and several autographed books were destroyed. 2 of the authors really don't do social media anymore. I don't know what happened to them. They don't publish books anymore, but they'd be impossible to get a hold of. 2 of the other authors are still very active authors. One of them I follow on Patreon, and I've been following him for a very long time. Iho found the book, saw the author's name, contacted the author. The author said, I completely understand. Replace the book, re-signed the book, everything. I've got it downstairs in a more secure location now. The other book was written by Neil Gaiman, and we'll get to a story about that in a minute. But Iho felt absolutely terrible that these books had been destroyed and that everything had been destroyed. He did his best to replace it. And when we found out what was going on, it's like, no, please, 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 please. Some of these things are not going to be cheap to replace. A signed book by Neil Gaiman, you're just not going to find it, especially that book. It's okay. It's okay. It's understood. Don't worry about it. Puppies destroy things. The other books, yes, they were mementos, but she's a puppy. I should have known better. I should have put them away. Even after we got back, we all went somewhere and came back, and she dragged off the shelf 4 Scott Zigler books. I've been a fan of Scott Zigler since he first released the first episode of Earth Core back in 2005. And I didn't initially begin collecting his books until later, but 3 of the books were the 3, 4, and 5 of the Galactic Football League. Book 6 is coming out, and I should have my copy in the mail any day. They're shipping them right now. Signed, limited edition. One of them was Pandemic, which is another Scott Zigler book. I don't believe I have that one signed. But the 3 GFL books, signed, limited edition, signed and numbered. irreplaceable type books. Fortunately, all Maya did was decide, hey, these dust covers look really good. Tore the dust covers off, and posted a picture on the Facebook group, and I'm thinking, oh, the dust covers are gone. At least the books are still safe, but it's frustrating that the dust covers were gone. I posted the picture, hey, puppies will be puppies. Zigler reached out to me, that's Scott Zigler's wife, and said, hey, get a hold of me, give me your information, I'll make sure you get replacement dust jackets. We're going to be in the warehouse this week. Just so happened that this is the week that they're shipping all the books out, so they were cleaning the warehouse in preparation for shipping out the next GFL book. So she already knew they had the dust jackets available. She rolled them up. She found one for Pandemic. They fortunately had extras of those. Shipped them off to me. Boom, replaced. No harm, no foul. One awesome person in that Facebook group, on the Scott Zigler Facebook group, posted saying, hey, I've got 5 copies of the very first and the very second Scott Zigler books ever to be produced. Who wants them? And I'm like, this cannot be real. This who's going to have 5 copies of that, let alone, hey, I'm just going to give these to you. But the person finds them, acquires them, and gives them away. Gives them to friends, gives them to fans, and he ran out of people to give them to, and he had 5 extra copies and said, you pay shipping and handling, I'll send you the books. I paid a little bit more than shipping and handling because this person was awesome. So, adding to my collection, I now have the first Earth Core and the first Ancestor books that were published by Dragon Moon Press. Never thought I would have these in my collection because I allowed time to go by without buying them. These are very challenging to come by, and the person that had them, incredible person. I cannot thank enough for now that I have these in my library. I'm very excited to have them part of my collection. I do collect some books. I'm not a rabid collector, but I do collect some books. So that brings us to item 5. As I mentioned on my blog post, I wrote all this story up in great detail about what happened with the books, and that it was great that Tobias was such a great person to send a new signed copy of the book. And I wrote that I never expected someone like Neil Gaiman, who is busy upon busy, who has a wife, a family. He's got multiple projects, writing projects, TV projects, film projects, all in motion, all at the same time. A whole lot going on. He's currently in lockdown in New Zealand. He was able to get to his family. So I told Iho, please, don't worry about it. It's Neil Gaiman. He has assistants for his assistants. If he actually read the email, I would be surprised, because he is so busy. Not because he's a jerk in any fashion. Neil Gaiman is probably one of the most generous people with his time that I have ever encountered, read about. Everything I read about him, he is a genuine human being who cares about his fans to the nth degree. Go read some stories about Neil Gaiman. That said, I never expected a response from Neil Gaiman until I sat down this morning. When I make my posts, and I really don't think a lot about when I make these posts. I make them, I'm happy when I do make them, and I move on. I honestly don't think a lot about them. They're stories. I put the stories out there and I move on. So this morning I sit down and I have a note, and I'm trying to find it so I can read it. Activity. So I had a response to that blog post. When I do the blog post, I tag everybody, I tag everything. And I tag Neil Gaiman, of course. So Neil Gaiman went and read my blog post. Neil Gaiman stopped by and commented on my Tumblr post. Tumblr, of all places. I had never anticipated that. And the reason I know he read the entire post is because of the content of his comment, where he said, why can't I pull this up? There it is. He said, I missed the message. Although right now I'm in New Zealand in lockdown, but perhaps when I can go to the post office again, I will send you a postcard. I'm speechless. I'm stunned. What do you do when someone like Neil Gaiman? I'm a nobody. I'm I'm a small time writer. I make a couple of sales. I blog. 5, 10 people read my blog at best. I make these videos, maybe get 2, 3 views, depending on where people are viewing them. Neil Gaiman took the time out of his day to address what had happened. Very simple response. But again, in my post, I had no expectation of a response. I honestly didn't. I don't feel like it would have been my place to call him out and say, we sent him an email. No, I know he's a busy person. And even Iho's sister told him, hey, you what? You emailed Neil Gaiman and you expected a response. Seriously? And I kind of chuckled about it. I'm like, Iho, it's just, and I explained to him, this is a very busy man with an incredible career. He probably gets thousands of emails a week from people asking for donations, people just regular fan mail, all of it. And the fact that Neil read my blog post of all things and responded on Tumblr, I'm humbled. I'm truly touched that he did that. I really am. That means more to me than having the autographed book back. It really does. The book is gone forever. I will never have it back. It was destroyed. But just that Neil knows how much that book meant to me, and it meant enough for him to reach out. I don't know what to say. I just, it touched me so much that he took the time out of his day to reach out and say that when he has the time, perhaps he'll send a postcard. If I get that postcard, absolutely, I'll be, hey guys, I'm going to lock this away where nothing's going to happen to it. But even if I don't receive the postcard, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. Again, I had no expectation of any type of a response, especially from Neil himself. But when I had met him at World Fantasy Con and he was signing that specific book, that was the memory that I had associated with that book. The memory will never go away of him pointing to my scrolling badge that I was wearing that had jrmurdock.com scrolling across, jrmurdock.com, and him just watching it and pointing at it and looking at me going, that's fucking brilliant. I mean, that's the memory I associated with that book. And now I've got another memory with Neil where he came to my blog to address what had happened. Stunned. Tobias, Neil, the gentleman from the Scott Zigler Facebook group, Scott Zigler, all awesome people. And I am a better person for knowing them and having them in my life. I really am. And it's great. Everything that Iho did to repair what Maya had destroyed, everything he went through, I'm sure every time he got home, he was just, oh, not again, not again. I'm sure it tore him up inside and he felt absolutely awful. I hold no ill will towards an animal. She's going to do what she's going to do. Needless to say, after the incidents happened upstairs, they did block the stairs so she couldn't come up anymore and she would stay downstairs. And that's why I think she said, hey, look, there's this whole bookshelf. There are a couple other things I'm sure she took care of on that bookshelf because I don't see them anymore, like a paper dragon we had. But again, these things happen. But hey, those are the 5 things I had to talk about today. Again, hop over to jrmurdock.com, pick up a free book. Thank you so much for joining this evening. I'm going to get this posted and get myself off to bed because it's late. It's been 5 A Day with Jay. I've been Jay. You've been awesome. Thanks so much.